It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. Well, I'll do video step 2, step 2, step 2, step 2, step 2, step 2. Fick it. Yo, what up? This is Chris from Shot by the Robot. I'm a photographer based in Colorado. I shoot a lot of things. Hit the IG, hit the website if you want to check out what I'm doing. But you know what? I want to make a video about something that I use quite a bit that I find to be very helpful. Gear is it's really easy to talk to. That's why you see a lot of people making videos. So I'm making videos. I can sit here in my apartment and talk to you about gear. I don't have to go outside and set it up. Of course I want to do that, but this makes it easy when I don't have a model, when I don't have a clear idea for a shoot that I want to film, stuff like that. I want to talk to you about something that I use for editing. It's something that you might have in your crib already if you are a gamer. Even if you're not a real big gamer, you probably might still have one. Now for my real editing, retouching and stuff, I use a pen tablet. I got the cheap Huion tablet here, like $40. If you're a retoucher, you don't really need the Wacom stuff unless you're doing like maybe commercial stuff where you got to get real deep in there. But for me, this worked out. But for my culling, I use PS3, PS4 pad. If you got an Xbox pad, you can use those as well. You can, even if you don't have a gamer, if you're not a gamer, you can get a cheap $20 or whatever USB pad that'll hook up to your PC or MacBook or whatever, and they work the same way. I'm gonna show you how I set my stuff up, and I find it helps with editing. In general, one thing, you're not doing this, you're not hunched over on your keyboard. If you like me, I got some back issues. As you get older, it happens. But you can lean back, lumbar support in your chair, kick your feet up, and just like you're playing video games, this helps with calling. I forget who I learned the original tip from, so I would shout you out if I could, but I've been doing it for some years now, and I find it works really well. So we're gonna cut to the screen here, where I'm going through my last few years of photos, because I'm now using Capture One, and I want to see what my edits look like, as well as maybe go back to some old photos and do re-edits in Capture One. So we're gonna cut to the screen here. Yo, alright guys, welcome to Capture One. I've been using Capture One for about maybe 4 or 5 months now, ever since I got my X Pro 2 and I started being able to tethering on Capture One. It's blazing fast. Lightroom not so much, and also since Capture One handles Fuji RAWs so much better, I decided it's time to switch over. So I've been using Capture One and exclusively as my RAW editor for about, like I said, 4 or 5 months. Capture One and Photoshop, that's all I've been using. I have Lightroom installed on here, but I don't use it at all anymore. I haven't opened it in months. Right now I have a session loaded up from a shoot with my friend John. He's a YouTuber, of course the link below. He does reaction videos, movie reviews, trailer reactions, like all kinds of stuff. He does a lot of stuff. Go check him out. So with this, I've use a program on my PC called Joytokey. Now it's semi set up, not all the way, because I actually haven't been using Capture One. I've been using my PC at all for editing. I've been using my MacBook for the most part, and when I need to use a big monitor, I have a adapter for like DisplayPort or whatever that I plug in when I need to use my MacBook on the big screen. So for the most part, I haven't been using my PC. So I'm actually setting this up as we record. So I've already set up most of my stuff. Up, down, if you see here, when I press the button, it highlights so you know what here. That's just the arrow keys. That's how you navigate. For me, being a long-time gamer and someone in America, for me, cross or X, depending on where you're at in the world, what you call it, that is select for me. That's all it means. Go, enter, whatever. So I have that set to Control J, and all you do is double click it. First one Control, second part J, hit OK, boom, that's it. So that's how I have it set up. So that select, that will move stuff to move an image to the select folder. If you're on Lightroom, you can do the exact same thing. You can mark it as, I think is where you press X and it marks it as mark it as one that you want to edit, or mark it as one that you don't. Do the same thing, literally just use your shortcuts. I had it set up for Lightroom. You can see actually I have a Lightroom profile right here. This is my game profile 1 for those type of games where actually I don't even think I use this anymore because I have the DS4 tool. For all my gamers out there who knows what that is for PC. But you know, you can see my old Lightroom profile is right here. I'm not going to click on it because I'm not done setting it here. I don't want to lose anything. But X is going to be button 2, so that's set. Circle is going to be delete to me, so that moves stuff to the session trash. It doesn't delete it from the folder, it just deletes it, moves it to the trash for the session, and then once I'm done, if I'm like, okay, that's cool, then I can delete it, but it doesn't delete it immediately. That's good. Then I have Control Z, which of course, if you use any program, Adobe or whatever, you know that it's undo. Bam, that is for me square. Now what I currently have, triangle set to is full screen, but what I'm gonna do is actually change that. I'm gonna use that for numpad 3. So what that is for when I do my selects, I didn't go in and rate the ones I like. So 1 being 5 being yeah, and 3 being could go either way in the middle. We're trying to figure it out, and that helps me figure out what's what's stuff to here. So I got that set to 3 because I don't need full screen on my PC because I have a big 24-inch monitor that I'm seeing this on. I'm not on a 13-inch screen like on my MacBook, where I probably use full screen much more often. Then I have here L1, L2, and triangle. So you can't see it because it's highlighted. So triangle. So triangle is now 3. L1 is 1. R2 or R1 is 5. So that helps me rate. Now, last one I'm gonna set up for now. For me, again, this is just for culling. This is not for full edits. So you only have so many buttons. If you have a pad with more buttons that you got a PC pad, you do what you wish. But for me, this is good. The last thing I'm gonna do is zoom in and zoom out. If you're not familiar with that, it's Control minus and Control plus will zoom in and zoom out. Command if you're on Mac. So I'm gonna do L2, which is button 7. So I'm gonna do Control and minus, and bam, and then button 8 is gonna be Control and plus, and now I can zoom in and zoom out. So I can be at 100% looking at my man's beard, looking to see how shiny it is because I know he put the oil in there before we went to shoot, and then I can be like, make sure it's focused. So there'll be sometimes where you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm in focus or not. It looks focused from here. So you can sit here and kind of so one thing I might try to figure out is how to set my sticks to kind of like something like where I can drag it. So right now I have the mouse here and I'm just clicking and dragging. I might try to figure something out for that, but for now this is pretty good. It navigates well. I can L2 and I'm back at 0. I'm back at fitting the screen. I typically use the setup for Capture One as workspace, as trans migration. There it is, not translation, migration, and it sets it up as similar to a Lightroom setup. But because I'm viewing here, I'm doing usually I have dual monitor set up, but I'm recording so you can't see the other monitor. So if I do default, that gives me pretty big viewer. I still have stuff on this side and I can still move that over, and boom, I have pretty light scene. And then like I said, it navigates pretty quickly. It just, like I said, I'm literally sitting back, leaning in my chair with a PS4 pad in my hand, and I'm just going through these, and I'm like, okay. And you literally just make quick decisions, like, so you can go and I'm like, all right, this isn't a good photo and it's out of focus. You can tell, boom, yeah, it's out of focus and it's not a good photo. Circle. he's actually a little out of focus. Circle. I got that conflict because this is a folder I've already used before, a session I've already used before. Then we go here. I'm like, you know, I like stick it here. We're shooting one-handed. It looks okay. We're in focus actually now that it loads. This could be something we can use. But let's say I put it in trash by accident, and I'm like, oh, actually, you know what? Let's bring that back. Can I do this for all things? Just ignore. And then we hit square because I'm like, oh snap. Can I just? It says ignore. It's to do all for conflicts, but it's like whatever. We'll just say replace for now. But I didn't like that. Oh snap! Did I mess anything up? I don't know. But guess what? Square. Control Z, and then we just go through that. Ignore. But overall, I hope this will help you out with your editing, with your culling. It just makes things a bit more faster to navigate if you're used to these type of things, especially if you're used to using a pad. Like again, look how fast I can just go through things, and if you're using Capture One on a decent computer, it loads pretty quickly. This is photos right here. You can see where I'm like getting my stuff right. Random lady jumped to a session, but I can be like bam. Oh, is that focus? I can tell clearly it's in focus, but let's say I want to get in there and get close. Yes, it's focus. And then I just come back out. So like I said, set your setup as you prefer, as you like to. I like this setup myself, and like I said, it just helps me get through culling, which if you got, especially depending on how much you shoot, if you're a wedding photographer, this will help you a lot. This will save you from having to lean over your keyboard and go through Control J, Control J, Control J, Control J, Control J, etc., etc. This will help you just and just go through your stuff, and if you're like, oh, is that in focus? You don't know. Okay. And then bam. And then I'm in like what? I'm in 67%. I'm in 200%. By the way, shout out to that 35 f2. And I'm in his nose hairs, and we're in focus. So this helps you a lot. So I hope this helps you out. Please like, subscribe. If you click on any of the links, your boy gets a little bit of a taste for my. If you do so, I appreciate it. There's no extra cost to you. And if you do nothing else, I'd appreciate a follow on IG. I still haven't hit 300 followers. It's just a nice round number. I like to hit that. So if you find it in your hearts and you enjoy my photography, just follow on IG and leave a comment. I will of course comment back. There's no reason not to, because there's nobody commenting anyway, so I'm not gonna miss it. So leave a comment, hit my IG, leave a comment, say you followed me from YouTube. I love it, and I'll follow back, because you know what, I'm here. So new video next week. I don't even know what it's about yet. I have ideas written down, but I don't know what I'm going to film yet. I kind of let this go. I go whatever I feel. Like this video is not even something I had written down. I was like, oh, it's something I don't see people talking about, and I think it'd be cool. So in general, I hope it helps you out. Like, sub, the whole spiel. See you next week. Peace.